One time we're gonna stand up, stand up. One time we're gonna stand up, stand up. Shout out loud. One time we're gonna stand up, stand up. One time we're gonna stand up, stand up. Shout out loud.
Freedom declared is rare. Prepare a new age mantra. Hey, what's up, everybody out there in internet land? This is Balamau Power, and you are joining me on Powerverse episode 15, all the way from the far north, the golden mic from the north, your host, Balamau Power. Hoping everybody is having a great time now. We've hit December, the last month of the year. Man, time is flying. Now, as we always do before we start on any program, here we like to show respect and acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land which I am streaming from here with this Powerverse episode. Gimoi country, is known as Cairns, from the far north, tropical far north Queensland. And it's always a pleasure to be here. And I love this place, the tropical north, always bringing you interesting and exciting guests here joining me on the black table, either live streamed or in live, to be able to have a talk about their journey and have a yarn about some of the great things they've been up to in this world. Now, if this is your first time tuning into Powerverse, let me tell you a bit about what we do and what Powerverse is. Powerverse is a platform we created where I would like to invite people that I've known and met throughout my life and my journey who has a profound and interesting story to share, and hope that what they share inspires and empowers people from community and, throughout the world, whoever streams in. And they share jewels and knowledge of their experiences and journey, hopefully that we can take away some nuggets that we can apply in life. And tonight is a very special episode because, one, I get to have a chat to one of my small brothers all the way from the Torres Straits, who's been in the big smoke for the last maybe 5 years, Brother Ernest Beckley. So I will bring him on the show and to say hello, and he'll introduce himself to you guys. And Brother Ernest, Dingo, how are you, my brother?
Yeah, well, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. We're loving the beard. The beard is looking really good.
Yeah, thanks.
Coming up, is that the reason for the beard for Christmas?
Yeah, I was hoping to make an appearance back home as the Black Santa Claus.
Well, my brother, just if you can, introduce yourself to the people who may be tuning in who don't know who you are, your background, where you're from, and just have a yarn with us.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm a Wagadagam, Upi Puri, Meriam Sumsep man. Born on Thursday Island and raised on Horn Island, up in the Torres Strait. And I did local school locally in the Torres Strait, and then I did my last 3 years down in Geelong, and then went back home for a few more years, and then now I've come to Sydney to pursue my degree in engineering.
Yeah, too good. Thank you for that introduction there, and I hope families back home are tuning in. If you are, please drop a comment, ask questions, and I think you might have some of your people and your friends and your networks tuning in. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm excited on multiple levels. Okay, one, we have a link in mechanical engineering. We can get into that, and I can talk about my experiences in that field.
Yeah.
Two, you from growing up on Horn Island, you my small brother from Horn Island, and seeing your journey from when you were small, going through from originally sports to academia is such a profound thing. And this is going to be exciting because I think we will uncover some great insights for this yarn in showing the parallel, like the extreme differences between two worlds, growing up in these two worlds, but also that making up you as a whole. And it will make sense once people will listen to our story. But let's start from the beginning. Let's start from way back in the beginning. Growing up on the island, like I know when people will be tuning in, some of your friends maybe, the island life.
Yeah.
A small island boy from a community, another by, Horn Island. Your experiences, tell me.
I don't know where to start. Growing up on Horn Island, I guess, I felt like, I think after I got a bit older, always felt like I was living in a bubble or like under a rock. There wasn't much exposure to life outside of Horn Island or the Torres Strait. But yeah, I loved, growing up in the islands, being able to, being very close to my culture, practicing my culture, a lot of our traditions. I hold that quite dearly. I go back home when I can, I try and reconnect with my family and my friends, and I still practice, to this day. Yeah, I'm not too sure how much, like talking about Horn Island. I mean, it's quite small.
But just the lifestyle, like, the things of, we go to the hunting experiences, the diving experiences. Like,
Yeah.
paint this picture for somebody. Like, if you was to take one of your mates up to the islands, what do you think they would experience? Just the lifestyle that we live.
Quite outgoing. Always out on the water. Whether it's fishing, spear fishing, hunting, even going into the bush, hunting for, other animals like deers or pigs. But I think it's quite hands-on, and everything is quite mellow, quite relaxed as well. I know up there we call it TI time. Other places have a similar thing, That's one thing I had to learn quite quickly is the city moves really fast, so yeah, I quite relaxed, easygoing people. Yeah,
One of the things that we'll uncover a bit more in this conversation that is unique about growing up in community is kinship, the
yeah,
families and extended families. I mean, well, when we grow up, like, I know you and my Balatai is very, very close, and like we
yeah,
always
yeah,
say, we eat off one spoon, or we eat off one plate, and we share
100%.
one pillow, and that type of going down to the city, the for my when I went remember I moved to Toowoomba to study mechanical engineering, and that safety of that type of bubble or that type of kinship was
Yeah,
then gone, and
yeah,
it created this difference, that different. I don't know your experience, brother.
yeah. No, yeah. I actually didn't really think about that too much, but now that you sort of brought it up, yeah, your brother especially, and a few of my other, close cousins and all of that. Like you said, we basically, ate from one plate basically, and being so close with a lot of like my family and all of that, and then that transition, basically being around my family 24/7, and having their presence and their physical support, like being there, and then moving to Sydney and sort of trying to make it through the world sort of almost by myself,
Mm,
without having them there physically. Like they
mm,
were still there for me. I'd
mhm.
call them, quite often, and still connect. But just being moving away like that, was quite challenging for sure.
No, too good. I just want to say that there's a few people dropping some lines and comments there.
Yeah.
Uh, Jason Peterson, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah, Bala
Uh,
Jackson.
Sorry, is that Jackson? Oh,
Jackson.
sorry, it is Jackson. Yeah, Jackson Peterson. Buddy Wang, thank you. Always tuning in at every episode, and really great to have you and dropping comments. Bala Ties, all the way from Gold Coast. Thank you for joining in there, Tyrese, bro. And Tanya, thank you, Tanya, for tuning in. Please ask some questions as we go along. Hey, Valens, Valens on. Who's that dude? Don't start mocking on this
Yeah.
page now, okay?
Uh,
But bro, now coming up in the early parts of your adolescence and early teens, you were like quite heavily involved in sports, which you made some great impacts in as well. But I want to like you for tell me like if you could share that journey.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I suppose I'll go to the start where sort of in our community, up in the Torres Strait, sports, especially rugby league, is quite a uh, that's our national sport, and I sort of grew up with sports my whole life, and always trying to compete with my older brothers and try and be better than them. I think it was I don't know, just it was quite challenging trying to compete with them playing rugby league and all of that. So I decided to start playing Aussie rules. I think I started when I was maybe 12 or 13, and then my journey started kind of when I started making rep teams. I didn't think I was any good, but I started getting selected for different rep teams, regional teams, and then I got selected in the National Indigenous team, which was the Flying Boomerangs, where we did a tour of in Tonga back in, I believe it was 2010. And I think from there, I was offered a scholarship to go to a different school.
Wow.
And that's when sort of things started to really change. And I accepted the scholarship, and the following year,
That was to
I
Geelong, was it?
that's correct.
Yes.
So I went from Desert Island, and then went down to Geelong. Um, and then from there, I suppose, I had to do year 10 again because
Yep.
I'm not sure what the system's like now, but back then it was you finish when you're 18 or whatever, and so I had to repeat year 10. So I was doing year 12 when all my friends and family were. I was doing year 12 when all my family and friends were graduating high school, or my schoolies. So fair bit of so the Aussie rules pathway, that sort of took me, I suppose, onto a different path, and I'm not sure, my mind frame started to shift a little bit, and I think that's where I started to go down to the, I suppose, academic side of things.
That's awesome. Now, the change from the school. Now you went to Thursday High, right? Am I correct in saying that? Yeah.
Tagai State College.
Tagai State College. Yeah, that's already changed it. Tagai State College.
Yeah, I think
And
that was in your days.
hey, not that I'm not that much older, brother. Okay, Tagai State College. If you want to make it sound fancy, Tagai State College, and moving from like small island school, which is about 400 students, then going to this an academy, right, in Geelong. It would have been an academy for AFL.
It wasn't exactly an academy or anything like that. What it was basically just an indigenous, some sort of indigenous scholarship, backed up by sponsored by a like a program or some foundation, and that indigenous scholarship allowed me to go to school there. It wasn't necessarily a Aussie rules scholarship, but that was the pathway that took me there.
Okay, and the school was bigger than the island.
I think that there were more kids in my school than the community I came from. Man, it was crazy.
It's interesting when you put it in that perspective, because I know I just give an example from how mind blown like I was when I went to my first Taipans game, like with basketball,
Yeah.
and I was sitting in here in Cairns Arena. There was 6,000 people in that,
Yeah.
that space, and I'm like, there's more people here in the stadium than there is on Thursday Island. And that just blew my mind. I'm like, so there's more people in the more people in the school than. So you're going down this road. The scholarship took you down to experience this new world. Your scholarship through sport. Was your aspiration like locked in on sports?
Um, it was, but it was, I suppose I was locked in on rugby league. I always wanted to be a rugby
Yeah.
player, just like every other, island up in the Straits. Yeah, I wanted to play rugby league, but I knew I couldn't say no to the scholarship, which was Aussie rules, which essentially took me away from an environment where I would try and allow myself to try and pursue that dream. Simply because I don't know. I think in my mind, I thought it was an opportunity that I don't think I will ever get. So
Yes.
I think it was just so that yeah, I don't exactly, till this day I still don't know why, but I think it was just to try and better myself and sort of encourage others that there are opportunities that are out there to try and pursue and yeah, sort of break the cycle almost, I guess.
That's incredible. I mean, as a young person with that type of mindset, because look, I come from the same community, and influences are real up there. Like,
Yeah,
I could talk about stories, and you see, and I went down many different other tracks
yeah,
of life, and
mhm,
it's very, very far and few opportunities come to the islands, and I've seen a lot of young brothers and sisters grasp onto the opportunities, either go on and come back because of homesickness or missing
yeah,
community,
yeah,
or let it pass by and then nothing else comes. And
yeah,
you grabbing onto that shows that where your mind state at a very young age was, and hence that's why you're here on this podcast, talking about your journey.
yeah.
While we're on that point, like right now, we're going to talk about your academics, but while we're on this, if you were talking to somebody back in the islands or in remote communities about these opportunities, what would you say to them?
I mean, what would I say to them? At the end of the day, I suppose everyone's fighting their own battles. Everyone's different, but they they are out there. You know, I mean, I went to high school with a lot of smart kids. Like way smarter than me. Maybe didn't take some the same, or like take some opportunities, or didn't um, sort of went down maybe the wrong path, or just a different path, which is fine. But you know, I suppose if you really want to try and challenge yourself or go down, um, academic, or it could be anything really. It's out there. If you really want it, you have to try and just really dig deep and go for it, I guess.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it'll be like anything, right? It'll be a lot of work. I just wanted
yeah,
to do some shout outs. Mandy, thank you for coming on. You're always on the show and supporting. I think I got one of what's
that's
I found.
Felici. Yeah,
Police, my
yeah, yeah,
guy, Dingo. And Valentine's, you looked the question what Tyron asked there?
yeah. I seen that there.
We, these are, if for anybody, yeah, we can't give away those secrets, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, no, can't give it secrets.
Now, for those who are just joining us, I got my small brother here, Ernest Beckley, on the program, and there were many reasons why I wanted this young brother come on here, and one of it really is to be able to show that from a small island boy you can make some profound movements and to pursue a path that can give you greater opportunities. And if I might share here now, I'm proud to even like say I spoke to you the other day, and you've
Yeah,
just completed and graduated finally
yeah.
in mechanical engineering, right?
I haven't graduated yet, but
Oh, not
I got
graduated, but sorry,
yeah. So I've got my results, and I'll pass through
yep,
my subject. So yeah, I'm
you
pretty
passed.
pretty
So
stoked
it's
with that.
pretty
Yes,
slow.
yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks.
That's for after 5.5 years, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. 5.5 years. Um, yeah, it was a 5-year course, but it took me an extra semester to sort of complete everything. Yeah, which I'm actually quite surprised, because I had a bit of a I went through a dip halfway through my course. I think I got a bit burnt out, so I failed a few subjects. but I sort of clawed my way back, and yeah, I mean, a couple of years later, I finished my course. There you go.
Finished your course. There you go. Congratulations, brother.
Thanks.
Let's go back. We'll go back. I'm jumping ahead here. So you were
Yeah,
in the scholarship. You're in Geelong. With possible opportunities in AFL or
yeah,
sports.
yeah.
What was the transition to academics and why mechanical engineering?
Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, sorry. So, what was the question again? So it's
So here you are. You because I when I saw you, you were into sports, right? You made some great movements in sports, but then you said you had the shift and it moved you down the path of academics. What was that? What was that for you? Like, when was that moment that you knew I want to go down this road?
um, I'm not exactly too sure. Like, I think in the back of my mind. I mean, I'm gonna admit, probably even now, I still have it in the back of my mind where I'm thinking, I'll go down the academic side, but I still might want to try and give it rugby league a crack. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I think I'm not exactly sure, like, um, what it was, but when I was going through high school, I knew I liked a bit of a nerd, but I liked my maths and physics. Um, and I knew, back home, like, my dad would work on the outboard or on the car or something, and whenever he's working on it, I'd be lingering around, sort of trying to figure out what he's doing, and I'd be asking him questions, or what are you doing there? Why are you doing that? And then he would tell me all these different things, and I had this real interest and passion for how things work. Um, and then I'm not too sure, like, where there was a defining moment, but I always, especially when I moved down to Geelong, I told a lot of people, like, oh, I'm going to be an engineer. I'm going to be an engineer, simply because I wanted to go sort of where my interests are, and I knew if I went down engineering, it would almost mesh quite well, um, and so that's also how I went to select mechanical engineering, because there are many different streams that you can go down, and mechanical is essentially um, basically how things move, essentially, whether it's air, heat, or physically different mechanics. And so, yeah, that's how I sort of chose my stream. But yeah, I don't think there was a defining moment. I can't recall a defining moment, but I would have to say it might have been when I finally moved to Geelong. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I would have to say sometime between there, that's why I slowly gravitated towards that.
To that world of academics and study and going to university, and
Yeah,
got some great comments there. Balatais, Mandy, thank you. Yes, great achievement. Buddy Wang there, Dingo Dula. Good to see some of my extended Dula family is on here, so that's great. We're all family.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean, I'll tell a small story quickly about why I have the interest in mechanical engineering, because I went to University of Southern Queensland essentially after high school to study mechanical engineering.
yeah,
Now, my story is not as profound as yours. Um, I just graduated and they're like, okay, you want to go to uni? Yeah, okay. Going to be the first in the family to do it? Yep, okay.
yeah, yeah,
What do you want? Look down the list, mechanical engineer. And I'll tell you what inspired me to actually do mechanical engineering. It was a hip hop movie called Higher Learning. A movie with Buster Rhymes and Ice Cube. So based off a movie, I'm like, I want to do mechanical engineering.
yeah,
Needless to say, I went there for 2 years. I didn't complete my course because I found music and audio engineering through that. So then I started
yeah,
production. So it kind of led its path that way. But I share that story because you never know where these roads lead you. Like, you went
yeah,
down sports and then it led you into academics,
yeah,
and
yeah, 100%.
it's and those interests. And for the people who are just joining in, the reason why, like there were many reasons, but another reason why I wanted Brother Ernest to come on here is to show one. A young person from the community making that choice and going through the actual journey from a small island into Sydney right now to go over, half a decade committing to this great journey. And you shared that, halfway through you felt burnt out. Take us
Yeah,
through, when you get into that academic system, it's
yeah.
exciting, but then the challenges. What were like a lot of the challenges that you faced as a young person in a big city?
Um, hey, sorry, I just seen a comment there from Balafeni de Bani.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, the challenges. There were many challenges. I mean, like the smallest thing, like the very first thing was learning how to take a bus, and so let me take a step back. So I was when I accepted my course and everything was sorted. Basically, all I had to do now was start to attend my class. I So I moved in with one of my aunts who I haven't met before, and she met me at the airport. So I flew down from Horn Island on the Saturday, met my aunt, moved in. Sunday, she showed me how to jump on the bus and everything. Sunday, she took me to the campus, showed me around. Monday was my first class, and the first class was actually at another campus that we hadn't been, like we weren't there, we didn't check it out, and that was the first challenge. And then, man, there were many challenges, but getting used to the Sydney life. I mean, I still struggle now, but it is what it is. But I think from the academic side, I think I got burnt out because I was putting in a lot of hours. I was working really hard. Something that's sort of been ingrained in me, especially because my old man, he's I've always seen that he's a hard worker. Works long hours, and I've always seen that. But one of the things is he always told me, don't work hard, work smart. But I've only seen him work hard. So I think I went through a slump because I was working so hard that I burnt myself out. I was always lethargic, always couldn't really concentrate, couldn't grasp certain concepts. Um, and then I'm not too sure. I kind of went through this slump where I was basically failing 50% of my subjects for about 3 semesters or so. How I didn't get kicked out of uni, I'm not too sure, but they kept me there, and I don't know what happened. I think there was this drive. I sort of told myself, you know what, I'm not going to go out this way. Like, I'm not going to give up this easily at uni. And so I started to work a lot smarter, I guess. But I was still working, pretty hard. And a lot of the students, a lot of the people I go to university with, they know how hard I work. But I think it was more figuring out being more smart or managing my time and really diving into there was like not a formula, but there was a way that instead of working like studying for 5 or 6 hours straight, break it up and really focus on sort of, I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but it's like it was more condensed and packed way on how to really approach things. And that's sort of what I figured out after I went through that slump, is really how to compress everything and, you know, sort of shorten my time, not shorten my time, but where I'm able to spend less time but get the same amount of work in. If that kind of makes sense.
No, that does
Yeah.
make sense. Systemizing the behavior and systemizing and managing that whole structure. Now, that process, like 'cause when we spoke a few weeks back, you were
Yeah.
saying you were putting in, I think it was something like 8 to 10, maybe 12-hour times of study. I
Yeah.
mean, that was a lot of time putting in there. And you were telling me a bit about this. And I understand from a business perspective, I run multiple businesses and I'm working anywhere between 15 and 18 hours. The first part of my journey, I lost 2 businesses because the same thing. I worked hard, but the systemizing of everything was something that I couldn't comprehend. And so what you're explaining was you systemize that and then being able to chunk it where it's going to be not only compact but concise to exactly what you want,
Yeah.
which is something great to be sharing and seeing that, like hearing that, man. I'm just getting my hair standing up, man. That's inspiring. Like being able to figure that out, um, and the attitude of not quitting and just saying I'm not going out like that, man.
Yeah.
That's inspiring, bro.
Yeah. 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 I mean, like, I actually have got this, like, so I'm sitting at my desk where I did, you know, the majority of my study. And so actually, because I failed one of my subjects multiple times, I received a letter. Actually, I don't think I've told you this one, but I've got my failure letter on my pinned up in front of my desk. So I see that every time
Can
I
you take
study.
it out? And can you take it out and show us?
Yeah, sure, sure. What's up? I don't know if anyone, I'll just block up my address.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can read that, but it says
Notice
notice
to
of repeated failure in a subject. And then
to
yeah, it says, something failed twice. Should you fail a third time, you'll not be permitted to enroll in the subject again.
So sorry to cut you off. The go touch, bro. So you printed up on your wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Why was
Yes.
that?
Sorry, what was that?
So no. Continue with the story. So you printed up on the wall, and yeah. Why was that?
I suppose it was just a reminder, just to let myself know that, you know, I mean, it's like that's how close I've been to. That's right.
You saw that. I just saw that too. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've been that close to failing or basically not being allowed to continue on with my course. And what's funny is I've actually had 2 of these. This is the second one. I've got the other one somewhere in one of my paperwork there, but you know, I pinned that up as a reminder to, like, just let myself know, you know, it's that easy to sort of get kicked out of uni. I mean, you know, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that way. So yeah, it's just a daily reminder to keep myself driven and not allow myself to get into that position again. I think that's the big thing. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty inspiring, man. That is profound, to be able to do that. But it's great when you can have those visual stimulations, right?
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
great. But I'm getting excited just listening to like some of the methods. Are there other disciplines you put into place? You said the time management and that having reminders, but I mean mental well-being. If you're working this hard and this much at um, you know, for like 5 years, just to
Yeah.
reach this goal.
Yeah.
How do you be able to keep that balance between your mental, physical, your well-being? Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Great question. For my mental well-being, you know, it was especially at the start of my course. You know, I had some dark times and all of that, and you know, I actually don't think I told many people I actually started uni. You know, I think there's still
Mm,
people when I go back home still don't even know that, like I did, like I've gone through university. And
wow.
some of my family, I actually had family living in Sydney, and they got a hold of my phone number. They called me up and they said, what are you doing in Sydney? Blah blah blah. I heard you've been here for a while. Come around. And then I used to go visit some of my family that used to live here. I used to go visit them on weekends. Shout out to some of those, Francine, Ketchel, Shania Taka. They helped me at the start of my uni degree, where I had some dark times, and that mental well-being. They were able to take me out of that constantly studying, that environment where I'm always like thinking about studying, and that initially made me sort of think, okay, I need to start looking for not outlets, but I do have to take care of my mental well-being. But they were quite good with the support, where they would invite me to go dinner with them and do all these activities with them, just to take my mind off that. And it was really refreshing. It was just stuff like that. Keeping fit. I let myself go a bit, but I do try and go to the gym when I can. Not much fitness. I tried playing some local footy for a bit of fitness as well. But yeah, I think for my mental well-being, I gotta try and, I've always tried to maybe go to the beach or, do some sort of activity just to take my mind off it. That was a lot of my family sort of that were living down here really, really helped. Excuse me, right at the start of when I first moved down. So
Now that's great to hear that you had that support network, because one of the biggest things I experienced this when I went to Toowoomba. I got completely removed from an environment of complete kinship into a place where I had no support. Like I had to make whole new friends, and there was just not where you can go see the bala or uncle or auntie or family. I mean, what was, apart from the people that you shared there, what was that experience like for you coming down just into this new world? Did you have was there like, we have these things, the homesickness and all that stuff? Was that a part of your journey?
Yes, it was. I did get homesick a lot. But I think I was able, I'm not too sure what it was, but I was able to deal with it quite well, I guess. I didn't really, it didn't affect me, as much as, I know, both of us know a lot of stories about, some of our family and friends, that have moved away and then got homesick and then, went back home. But I will admit that for the first few years, the one thing I did miss the most would be the food.
The seafood.
Like seriously, like fresh fish. I'm telling you, that was my
Truth.
I mean, fresh fish, man. Can't beat it. Yeah.
No, the food.
No, seriously, the food was probably the biggest thing for me. Different diet, but yeah, having always having fresh, fresh food, fresh from the sea.
Fresh from the sea, yeah. That is quite a challenge, I'm here in Cairns and stuff, so I have to fly back every time to bring Eskies come down. I can't live with that. Were you bringing Eskies back to university or anything, or what?
No. I've got a little bar fridge, so this is my. I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is basically my whole unit, and my it's just back there. So there's no room for eskies and all of that. So I wasn't taking any fresh any food back down to Sydney with me, but my parents know, especially my mom. Then she knows that you know, before I go back, they start stocking up with particular things that I like, especially mangoes. My mom likes to freeze the mangoes for me for when I go back
Yes,
home. Yeah, just the
I
ones
know
in my
that.
yard. So, yeah.
True that. No, I promise with that one. Mangoes.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, So you were before we came on this podcast, we were having a chat there about you were explaining, when you were going through this course about aligning it with the opportunities of the jobs that were going to come out after this.
yeah.
So you could take us through that description again and how this journey was navigated like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, so going through uni. Actually, I take a step back. So, a part of my course, I was required to do like work placements.
Hmm.
And so I was trying to look for a job, and anyways, I signed up with this program um, which helped align your degree or your course um, with an organization that basically aligns with your degree. So joined the program, and then the program said, okay, look, there's this company, CIMIC Group. There's a position that so the CIMIC Group is the parent company, and the organization, the subsidiary, was EIC Activities. So I joined EIC Activities. I did my placement, and then I was working essentially part time through my uni degree. So I was there with them for the past 3 years. I just recently finished up with them, and now I've secured a graduate role with one of the other subsidiaries, UGL, which is also a part of the CIMIC group, and so they're quite a mechanical dominated
Mm.
organization where a lot of a lot of the projects that they work on are quite mechanical based, or if it's a project that has a mechanical part in it, they would get contracted in for that. But yeah, so I start with my graduate role next year,
Oh,
early next
okay,
year. I'm
awesome.
pretty excited. I'm pumped. I can't wait to start working. So yeah, once I finish, I'll go home, refresh the mind, then come back and then get straight into it. Yeah, I'm pretty keen. I'm pumped to start working with UGL.
But that's incredible. Because that kind of beats the stumped the next question because I was going to ask what's the opportunities out now, but you've already aligned something, so that's a great transition. So you're going straight from university into the workforce.
Yeah,
So and that part time that you had with the other subsidiary was like an intern, a placement, but that was actually you working and being paid for that. Yeah,
that's correct. That's correct.
oh
So
man, that's awesome.
yeah, so I was just in. Yes, I was just working as an intern, and normally during the breaks, I would work full time. Um, yeah, I would work full time, and then during uni, I'd probably only work maybe 2 days a week. Um, yeah, that even that was actually quite challenging because then I had to start balancing work and university.
Mm, mm,
Because because I did fail those subjects, I ended up picking up a few more subjects, and then the workload. I'm trying to balance
mm.
work and then university. Yeah, got that. That was actually quite challenging. And then, so for my last semester, I think I spoke to you about this before, where I took time off work so that I can, because I ended up taking on 5 subjects. So
Mm.
normally I do 3 subjects. I was doing 3 to 4 subjects a semester, normally 3. For my last semester, because I already made my mindset where I was going to finish at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I did 5 subjects, and man, that was crazy. It was crazy. I just had to, I let work know, and they were all cool with it. Where I took time off work so that I can knuckle down and finish my last 5 subjects for my course.
Wow. That's a heavy commitment, man. 5 subjects, so just regularly doing 3 and just taking on 2 more. Man, you just love punishing yourself.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
No, but that's incredible. And just the fact of being hang on, just my camera just went off. Don't worry about the black screen. We will keep talking. Wait till my tech get the camera back online. Yeah. So with that being said, like doing those 5 subjects and that work life balance, it's kind of applying the stuff that you're studying at the same time, right? And
Yep.
being able to see it in real life application. Was that quite helpful?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely helped towards the back end of my degree for sure, because I could start to understand why we're doing certain things. Like, I mean, for starters, I mean, at the start of the course, you do a maths and the physics subjects and a bit of chemistry, just as a foundation thing to sort of, and then you build on that every single semester, every single subject. And yeah, like,
Yep.
yeah,
So
I
yep.
don't know. Yeah, so just being able to sort of relate a lot of that, especially like I said, towards the back end of my course, where I could relate that back to the field or where I was working. I could definitely see how a lot of it aligned. A lot of it wasn't exactly technical, but from like, for example, like a safety standpoint, like I could understand why certain things were in place for different things. Yeah, so there were a lot of policies and different certain things that I could definitely, like, I could understand why things were in place.
Too good. I apologize, guys. You seen I had to change the camera. Something happened to my main view, but I can still see you, and you can still see me. So yeah. Now, what is your plan when you head back home to rejuvenate? What you gonna do to rejuvenate?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll probably, man, actually, I think I want to go camping. So if any of the boys are out there watching right now, get your camping gear ready. But I think that's the main thing. I just want to reconnect with the place where I grew up, the country basically. And yeah, I think that's probably the main thing. Just reconnect with my family, some of my friends, friends I haven't seen for years, friends and family I haven't seen for years. But yeah, maybe, yeah, just go out camping or just go to one of the beaches and just chill out for the day. I
Yes.
think that's probably the main thing I'm going to try and do. Yeah,
Too
100%.
good. Too good. Couple of more questions, but one out of my own personal curiosity. I mean, I was going to ask that one before that question, and it was hearing the amount of work that you put in. Your work ethic it's you can hear that from your parents it rubbed off in you, and
Yeah,
the disciplines that you've set for you as the result is simple. You passed all your courses, and you're on your way after committing for 5 years, 5.5 years. What are like some of the major sacrifices that you have had to make in order to achieve this?
oh man, some of the sacrifices. Well, the biggest one would be sleep, but
Yep.
but outside of that, a lot of relationships, um, very close relationships that I used to, a lot of family and friends that I would talk to very regularly, and I found myself, I don't know how to put it, but not blocking them out or anything, but sort of just really trying to focus more on what's in front of me. So I think the biggest sacrifice was really staying in touch with a lot of my family and all my friends, but the real ones really understand my situation,
Yeah.
and all of that, and when we link up again, there's a few guys, been to Cairns a few times since I've been in Sydney, and we see each other, and then we link up straight away,
Yeah.
like nothing's happened,
Nothing's changed. Yeah.
100%, and those are the real ones that sort of understand like where I'm sort of coming from, and so I think what I'm trying to say is I think the biggest sacrifice was sort of letting go of some sort of relationships, but like I said, the real ones really understood
Yes.
what I was trying to do and what I'm trying to achieve.
Yes. And what about things like indulging in extracurricular activities and entertainment? I can say for myself, because I was a rapper and in uni, the nightclub was my lifestyle. So it was really, you would see my weekends would start on Friday and end on Tuesday. So for me, there was a whole different.
I knew this question was coming. Yeah, look, I'm not even gonna lie. The Sydney scene when I first came down, I used to go to the clubs and all of that, pubs, and I don't know, it was weird because I kind of not sure, like, shied away from a lot of that sort of that scene now, where I rather just go to a pub with one of my mates and just have a yarn. That's sort of what I'm more about now. But yeah, I think I did. It wasn't really giving it up or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think it was more of a growing up thing. Not growing up, but like maturing, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, just moving on. I mean, I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
That part of me doesn't faze me. At the end of the day, if I want to, relax and enjoy myself and have a beer, I'd rather go to a pub, because at least I can talk to you and have a real conversation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Not too good, man. Thanks for sharing that. And yes, Mandy, true friends will always be there forever because they believe in you, and that's great that you
Yeah.
can share that. And but I really am we finally made it happen. You on the podcast, and I'm really excited for the news and your journey, bro. And thank you for coming and sharing the story. A lot of levels. Why? And one, because you small brother of mine. You're one of my small brothers, and seeing you going through this journey from, like, I know that you're um, coming from a community, making the choice to commit, and then coming out at the end with the W, as we would say, or achieving those goals by pure discipline and hard work, and your ethics and your values. That is incredible to see, and hopefully, I want to see like our families and the next the younger ones back at home or in communities or wherever they are watching this. It doesn't matter what field they choose, to be able to understand that taking a grasp of that opportunity and putting your passion and hard work and commitment to it, you can achieve these things.
100%.
What's this? What did Tyrone say? That sounds like back in the day of Pat days. We Street Pat.
We Street.
Oh, we won't even go there.
I'm not from We Street. I'm from Outie Street.
And ties you from the Ridge. No, true, man. No, too good. Sorry, flashbacks about all these things.
Man, that's crazy.
My brother, I don't know. I thank you for committing your time to come on here and sharing your story with us. I've been really looking forward for this for a while now. And I always ask anybody who sits here with the black table, with me on this Powerverse, to leave something here, leave a gem, leave a jewel. And if you had, I know we have a lot that we carry, but if you had one jewel that you can leave and impart as a gift to people who are following here, that they may take and apply in life, if they choose to, what would that be for you?
Man, wow, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I think, for someone like myself, average guy from the islands, if you really apply yourself, and where you want to go, if you really apply yourself, you knuckle down and you can make it. No word about no doubt about it. You just have to be sort of true to yourself, true to what you work towards, and I guess, just don't give up. I guess, that's probably the biggest thing. Just keep moving forward.
My small brother, biggest for your time and sharing. Yeah, don't go. Anyway, literally go in the back of the studio and we can have a yarn after this. But I want to thank you for sharing your story. You're an inspiration as a small brother to me, and seeing your journey, man. I can't wait to see you back up this way. Yeah, go up in the islands, and we'll catch up for a yarn. Soak up some of that island lifestyle, and see you out there camping.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right, are you close up, my brother? Just wait till the end. I'm going to be with you after.
No worries. Thanks, bro.
And there you have it, guys. Brother Ernest Beckley sharing his journey and story. Such an inspirational young brother from the islands. And, hearing, for me, just to hear him, his commitment to, and the discipline to achieving the task, even persevering through a few hurdles with what we call failures, turning those into a win and a positive outcome. And then you can see the outcome is there. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. The brother has now completed his course and already aligned to, as a grad, to go out there and post and get out in the field and apply everything that he committed his life to for 5.5 years. That type of story is really inspiring, especially when it's from the younger generation. And I hope everybody is just as inspired as I was with that. Well, guys, that's me for this Friday night, the 4th of December. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Your comments, the yarns, Bala Tyrone, Buddy Wang, Mandy, hey Daisy. Thank you for dropping the line there. Got a few Fernie, and everybody else that dropped a line. Jackson, I believe, dropped a line in there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I'll sign out on this, on the Powerverse, as we always do here. Until next time, next week, same place here at the Black Table, Friday at 7:30 p.m. Queensland time, which is 8:30 in New South Wales and Victoria. And I have to get the time zones, but 7:30 Queensland time. We'll work the time zones out after on that one. But if you guys are keen, you'll see that there will be a link of Patreon that I will share right now. Come and join us on Patreon. We do live entertainment and performances, cultural experiences on this platform, Patreon, and it supports the creative arts. And if you join us on Patreon, this is where we're able to create more of these shows like this and projects like this, and have conversations like this. But other than that, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, subscribe, follow, because this is the type of stories that we want to bring and share with our community of followers. Well, I think I'll have to sign off now. With that being said, I'll sign off as we always do here from the Golden Mic from the North, Balamau Power on the Powerverse, saying until next time, stay inspired, stay empowered, and stay connected. That's all.